Hey guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. Where should I start? I got so many things I want to talk about, but let's see. How can I start this? I'm Ruowen Huang. I am an author, a spirit coach, and also a psychic. I have a very bad sleep last night because, I always like to watch. I don't know about you guys. I like to watch urban legend. And with me, it's weird. If you are psychic like me, you tend to open your channel with everything, easily. The truth is, you should not be curious about urban legend, but I am always curious because I'm always have, as much as I know I shouldn't, I'm always curious to see how true it is, right? Because I tell you, I have a skill. If it happened, I would know. If it's true, I would know. So anyway, to cut the story short is, I was watching this Facebook experiment. It's when, it's kind of a Japanese film, documentary or something. They try to test out urban legend. The urban legend test out is basically asking someone to ask, who are you, in front of the mirror 10 times a day and 30 days in a row, right? And then basically, if the guy can complete the task, they will give him $1 million Japanese dollars. So before I see this, I already got a sense of where it's going. So, but curiosity, like if you're curious like me, you wanna watch it. So I did, and guess what happened? I just end up having a bad sleep because that's why I feel the need to talk about this today. So anyway, what ended up happening is this guy, after doing the first week, it's no problem, and he just thinks it's boring. After second week, he start having abnormal behavior. After third week, he started to gone crazy or something. But anyway, by the fourth week, he basically disappear and gone mental, go disappear, and then obviously being possessed. So I really don't know how to start. I really don't know how to start this, but I hope I can hopefully explain how this works for you guys. First, let's talk about this experiment. In the previous episode, I already tell you are the best person to brainwash yourself. Nobody else is better than you, and we do that all the time. How do you know? We do that to ourselves all the time by telling us, I'm not good enough, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, no one loves me. We do that all the time, right? So we talk about it all the time. Now, remember I talked about a way to reverse that setting within yourself is looking in the mirror. You do the visual symbolization and then also vocal symbolization by telling yourself, I am good enough, I'm beautiful enough, or whatever you want to be, or I'm smart enough, or whatever. Right? So by doing that for 30 days in a row, you could reverse that command that always hidden within yourself. So refer to the previous episode. Okay, now by looking at a mirror, I keep asking, who are you? Okay. I know you guys might be curious to try, but please don't. Because what happened is, you must know, if you repeat the same things, word, for example, you repeat a word over and over and over and over again, eventually your mind start questioning if this word is real, or you all of a sudden don't know how to write it, or you don't know how to pronounce it, or it's some kind of they must have a term for it, but I just don't know what it's called. So basically the same thing apply to, if you're looking in the mirror and continue asking, who are you, you then will lose your self-identity. you lose your self-identity because you no longer know who you are, even though you're looking at yourself and then you're thinking, oh, this is just a game, it's funny. But the thing is, no one can brainwash you more than you do. So if you're looking at a mirror at yourself and continue questioning who you are, eventually you will lose your self-identity. That is, your soul no longer start to questioning, maybe this body doesn't belong to me, right? And then your soul will start to have self-doubt. What am I doing here? Who am I, right? This is the chance you may actually dealing with being possessed. So, oh, thank you. So, you might actually risk yourself of being possessed. The reason of that is there's a theory of being possessed. In your imagination, in what we were told by the Hollywood or perception, we believe possess is actually this body and then one soul just take over it, right? The truth is that doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. When does it happen? It happens when your soul give up being inside. But as I say, you guys follow the blog so long. You must know, we designed this body for a reason, right? We designed this body not for every other soul, but for this soul only. That is, this body was custom made to the to the inches of everything for this soul, Joanne, right? Rowan. But if other soul gonna take over it, what it feels like is, it feels like you are putting a wrong clothes on. I don't know if you guys have that feeling, but basically go try a extra one size smaller clothes or one size bigger. That's basically how you feel. The chances are most likely you feel like a one size or two size smaller clothes. That's how you feel if you possess a body that doesn't belong to you. In old time, the spirit doesn't know that well. So there's always a trace you can see because the clothes doesn't fit. The different soul come into this body and the clothes doesn't fit. What it does is, you see, they have a need to actually damage their body because it doesn't fit, it doesn't belong to them, no matter how much they try. So they may have distortion or things like that. That's in old time, you need exorcists to get rid of them, right? But old time, soul didn't know better. They think possess is doable. The truth is, possession is not doable. Right? It's not logical. It will create more pain for whatever soul have an intention to possess you than actually they are able to do something, right? So here, just to let you know, possession, to being possessed is not possible if you know who you are. I scattered so many things because it triggered my brain, so my brain just been acting crazy things yesterday after I watched that crazy urban legend. But so you guys have to bear with me. I hope I can cover all the topic. So if you understand if your soul know who you are, that is, I, Ruowen Huang, know very clearly this body belongs to me, customized for me, it's mine, right? Then you will know the feeling when people try to take over, it simply doesn't feel right. It feels like when you putting a perfect fit coat and somebody say, let me try it, it's mine, and then they squeeze into, just imagine yourself trying on a coat in a department store and some guy or some girl coming and say, I like that one, let me try it, and then force themselves to squeeze into your body. How does that feel? You don't feel right, right? You feel like, what are you doing? Get out of here, this is mine. Right? You will have that strong sensations like, get out of here. It's not yours, right? It's mine. So most of case, people like in soul level, we all know this body doesn't belong to them. It's yours. I have the right to call it. That is, I have every right to call it and say it's mine. But nowadays, spirits are smarter. They don't possess you. What they do is, They weaken your mind and try to influence your mind. That is, if I can somehow make your self-identity smaller, right, by make you believe you are no longer you, then they are more able to control this body to do things for them. So it may look like it's possessed, but it's actually not. That is, their soul is actually not possessed this body. Very easy to see. Their body will still be the same. They have no need to distort it, or hurting it or anything. They still comfortably look normal, but it just seems that they lose their mind sometimes because their self-esteem or self-centered is very small. And then therefore they allow other voice to decide what their body should act. So are they being possessed that body is in here, like a different soul is in here? No, but they might decide to have other voice to control this body. So that's basically the common form of being possessed, perception of being possessed nowadays, because soul gets smarter. Getting into a body is not gonna make you feel better. It's only gonna make you feel worse. So you spend more time to feel comfortable than actually try to do something to. So anyway, so the same thing apply if you wanna understand. You will apply to even devil wants you to do something, or ghosts want you to do something. They don't possess you, really. The chances do they possess you? Not really. The chance is not high. They would try to weaken your mind and ask you to do something for them, but in regard of taking control of your body, not so much. If you have full control or self-identity, you know who you are or who you want to be, the chances nobody can tell you what to do. So do understand that. But in the same theory, it was also applied to schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is basically, I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm giving you a rough idea how it's caused. It's basically start with a soul got very low self-esteem, and then they are not sure what they're doing, or they are afraid, or whatever causes it. And then therefore they have other voice taking control of them periodically or something. There's a cure for it, but it takes a lot of work. So you will understand the whole theory of being possessed, right? Then you will understand really the best way to prevent being possessed for anyone, or even they have a clue or chance of possibility being possessed by other voice, is to remind them who they are. That is, I might seem lost, I might be afraid, or my voice is so small, some other voice control me. The best way is to bring out that Ruowen in me, to remind me who I am, to remind me what I like, to remind me who this body belongs to. So it would take a lot of practice, but anyway, I'm just here to explain what's the theory of being possessed. So if you have a perception of possessed is simply a soul, ghost, or whoever random spirit take over this body, I'm here to tell you that doesn't happen a lot. Well, I would say maybe, 1 out of a million, maybe, if you really deal with very not so smart spirit. But, a majority of chance, right? It would not happen, but it will happen when they try to weaken your mind, and then therefore manipulate your mind, thought, heart. Therefore, you can do something for them. That will happen. But anyway, I want to bring back to this, urban legend. Not urban. It's actually not urban legend. It's like an experiment documentary or whatever it is. So I want to bring back to this. The reason this one troubled me the most, it did trouble me, and it frustrated me. Even being psychic, we see a lot of things, but there are things we don't like to see. There are things that I don't like to see. Like I don't like to channel, Mayan, because they actually exercise dark magic. I don't like to channel if I don't have to. I don't like to channel devil if I don't have to. But there's this dimension I'm here gonna tell you is a while back I mentioned there's no lost soul, right? As long as you have a body, you are not lost soul. But does that mean there's no lost soul there? They are. There's this dimension is actually, how can I describe it? It's called lost dimension. That is, they have a lot of lost soul who doesn't have a form. So the reason they are lost is because through the journey, they eventually lost their identity. They no longer know they are human, or they are animal, or they are devil, or they don't know what they are. They don't know where they're going. Or what happened is they are trapped in this dimension, right? So when this guy continuously asking, who are you, in front of mirror, right? After 3 weeks or something, what I witnessed is he give up on his body. That means this body no longer belong to me. When you allow your body to be so empty like that, you then have an open space for anybody to take over it. So it could happen. So I'm not saying, it will never happen, but it could happen, but very rarely. So I'm going to quickly show you it. We have a perception of this is how dimension work. That means dimension 1, dimension 2, dimension 3, different, it's different dimension, right? We human here, ghost here, and then God there, they are different dimension. Eventually, you will start to understand when you are in soul level. That means if I, Ruowen, is not in this body, in the soul level, actually, even when I'm living here, we think dimension is a linear way, right? Dimension, different dimension. Dimension actually work this way. That means we all overlap each other. We overlap each other, but the reason we don't feel each other's existence is because our vibration is different. So when our vibration like this, right, we then don't feel, well, if you're sensitive, you feel the quicker one or slower one. But, you feel your dimension's vibration. Therefore, you don't feel others. But does that mean those, God or fairy, they are not in exactly the same space? Another concept I would talk about is, I really try to squeeze too many things today, I think. In the soul level, time and space are like this. I mean, when we think time is like this, before, future, it actually, when you are in soul level, it works like this. Same thing as space, which I will talk about some other time. So, because of that, because I watch a show, because I engage myself, then I got myself trouble by, locked into this low soul dimension, which I hate a lot. What they do is, not all of them are bad, since they are all lost soul. But what they do is, the feeling I'm going to describe to you, and then you will probably get an idea why those schizophrenia people have no control of their body. What it is a lot of people in the soul, they've been, studying various things. They can be, dark magic, they can be, all different kind of things. So they have different skill, different level, different, behavior. But the thing is, they are lost. They don't know what to do. But the one that I happen to engage, which is the one that I, caught on, what it did is, it make your heart feel missing. Like, it limp your heart. Because it limp your heart, it always feel like a big piece of missing there. What it does is actually stimulate your fear to make you feel afraid. The more, it's almost the same way as devil. The more they can make you afraid, the more they can ask you to do things. So when you feel limpy of your heart, sometimes you must understand that feeling. Is like you almost have an accident, and then your heart go through like shock, and then you all of a sudden feel like there's nothing you can hold on, like your heart is not full or solid. You feel like it's limpy or missing something. What it does is it start limping your arm or sometimes leg, or you don't have energy. You simply don't have that energy to contribute to your body. So what you feel is you start to feel like a puppet. That means you can allow people to control it. There's a way to cure this. I really hope I'm not too over the place today, but it's just because it's stir my thoughts so many ways, but I hope I can squeeze everything in for everybody. It will feel lumpy, and you might even feel fearful of things that you don't know what, right? Because we always have that foundation as we have fear of unknown. So what they do is they try to manipulate your fear. If the more I can make you afraid, the more I can control you. It's the same thing as what I said earlier, right? So it's basically make me have an illusion I'm giving out my jacket. Does that make sense to you guys? But anyway, what I here try to say is when a situation like this happen, what you should really do, which would happen to a lot of people or kids even that I know of, feel the need to do things for other voice, right? When a situation like this happen, in Buddhism, I would say read some chanting or to whatever will make you safe. What you want to do is make yourself feel safe. So make yourself feel safe. A lot of time, in religion, we will try to pray to God or do whatever you do, right? If that works, great. But if you happen to have no religion, I would suggest you to do something you like to do. Like, think about the things you like to do as the soul. What it does is it bring you back to let you know this body belongs to you, right? Once you start to have that awareness, this body belongs to me, I have full control of it, I design this life for this, not for anybody else, for this person, right? Call it back, right? You will start to feel you have more power and energy within your heart, within your body. So if you happen to have friends or somebody that you think you want to help, really the best way to help them is bring them back. Bring them back. Remind them who they are, what they want to do. Instead of telling them don't be scared, because it's a feeling you actually cannot control. It's just the way they're being, they just manipulate energy that way, right? So instead of telling them, don't be afraid, don't be scared, really, waste of your time. The best way to do is actually bring back this person, who I am, what I like, what I enjoy most, right? And I design this body for myself. And nobody else can call on it. Nobody can own it but you. So anyway, it was, I think I'm a little bit overplaced, but I really try to say here is being possessed is actually not possible. Not possible. And if you know who you are, right? So if anybody ever, give you a lot of money, challenging you to do an experiment that could possibly make you lose your self-identity, don't. Not worth it. No amount of money is worth you to do that, right? Because you must hear me saying over and over and over so many times. Understand this body belongs to you and you only. You have full control of it and nobody can have a claim out this body. You really need to know this. So then you will know that being possessed will simply be impossible for you, because that will not happen to you if you know who you are. Anyway, today I spent a lot of time, but just because I really tried to cover a little bit of everything, whatever was in my head that made me cannot sleep. So I hope that can help you guys. And again, if you like what I'm doing, join me live on Periscope, or go to my Facebook, subscribe my YouTube channel, or go to my website, ruowen.com. Whew. Well, at least I feel better after I speak it all out. So till then, I guess I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.